Greetings, dear, precious, beautiful, divine, loving person that you are. Even those are words. Words can never describe. And that means who you are, not who you think you are, not who other people think you are, not what the mind says you are, not what you were taught you had to be like, to be this, to be that, to be good enough. Forget all that stuff. That's just layers and layers of ignorance that act like a shroud. They're a death shroud that covers our subtle mind. That means you might call it the software of the computer program that stores in the mind, conscious, subconscious, unconscious, computerizing, outflow, inflow, all this kind of stuff. I mean, garbage in, garbage out, any of that kind of stuff. And you settle on right now where you are. My topic is do it now. And talking with Elizabeth Alanis, Dr. Elizabeth Alanis, who's done the Spanish version of What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. We're really enthused about offering that free to the whole Spanish community, because you've got to know that it isn't about what other people think of you. Because my book, What You Think of Me Is None of My Business, get it now. Do it now. Order it now. And I've got all my books are on some of those internet booksellers and such. And you can get How to Have More and Have Not World, which was a New York Times #1 bestseller. And I wrote that for myself in case I forgot these things. And I'd have a book that I could go to get all those things I'd already realized and learned. So that I did that. And it was to help a brother-in-law who was working as a guard in a Louisiana prison and so depressed and so sorrowful and everything. And I offered, to help him, knowledge and all that. But anyway, I also wrote it for him. Of course, he never read it, but to help him get from A to B to C to D, in a sense, just to get some kind of a grasp on how this is working and how it works. So anyway, and then after How to Have More and Have Not World came the Inner Path, from where you are to where you want to be. I've got the hair in my eyes here. And then after that came Love and Power in a World Without Limits, a woman's guide to the goddess within. Fabulous. I even developed a whole facilitator course, because in all my books and everything, you can be able to use those. And and Elizabeth and I both will be working on that, so that you can do courses and classes with all of this material in Spanish and English, or however, to help your friends and family and your women community and your husbands and your male friends, everybody, to really get back to who they really are. And see, all things are possible to you. And what we were talking about the other day is, you say, well, how can you do everything? Because I had this really cool, like, Bedouin little footstool like that I got, and it needed help. And all of a sudden came the idea how to do it, because I got this really great silk brocade that has the colors I really like. And I would go look at it, and I thought, I made a ruffle for the thing. So in one day, I made it. It was all done. And she said, well, I just watched you. You just do it. You just start and you do this stuff. And I realized, like, even it was MGM, I believe, wanted to do a movie of my life, and they'd given me some retainer, a few, thousands of dollars or whatever, to do this. And then the man they gave me, Ollie Heska, really became a dear friend, to actually write my life story. There's so many things I've done, not because I'm special or different, it's just kind of my nature in some way. They couldn't find any part of the story to take to make a life story, because I've had so many lives, done so many things and all that, and so many other people. They go, I believe I can do it. Yeah, I believe, I believe I can do it. I believe I'm going to get there. I believe, I really do believe. Well, why don't you just do it? Has nothing to do with whether you believe it or not. Because, see, you're all powerful. And that's what people don't get. That's what you're not taught. See, it's like, when people, they go to seek knowledge of who they are from people who don't have a clue who they really are. And so therefore we define ourselves after, we copy ourselves after these, because we have been told this is valuable. But it's like, it's not difficult. You begin it now. I have a program I developed called 21 Days to Personal Riches. And what is a personal wealth or personal riches is to know that you are prosperity. Prosperity is your nature. It's not about whatever's the current money form. And yeah, we're playing the money game, but as we take our powers back to reclaim who we are, we shift the money game to gifting. We do that. And that means that when we give, instead of saying I'm paying and I have to do this and they're this and that, because it makes it so mundane and so, well, I need it for my survival. Yeah, I have to go kill a lot of people and torture them because you get the most money from this, from things. I got to survive, It's like, that's a real fool and a real pathetic individual. Because they cannot know the pleasure that they're seeking. They can't get the satisfaction because we're pleasure seekers. Pleasure's our nature. So instead of knowing that and appreciating that, we're always coming from the mind's concept of what pleasure is, and it's short-lived, and then the mind wants more, it needs more excitement, it needs more pleasure about this, because whatever you attain will never be enough. It can't be as long as you don't get your enough. That you are whole, complete, and perfect, nothing missing. And so what happens is the do it now thing is the moment that comes to you, that idea, it isn't about, that's good, I'll do it later. That doesn't mean there aren't some like that. That's why I like my cards. You know why I got these? Because, as I'm meditating and I'm studying and I'm researching for myself always, and to offer to you my findings, my realization, what I'm doing, and resources, like if you're working with me, Master Mentoring and everything, giving you all these resources and supporting you in whatever you want to be manifesting or creating or learning or knowing that I have knowledge of and direct experience of that I can offer. So anyway, I just get back to the topic of do it now, that as soon as it comes to mind, either put it on a card, and then I go through my cards and shuffle it, but everything only happens in the now. And Goethe, the German philosopher we like so much, is always, begin it now, because he's genius. That's what genius is. When you don't know you have, I love that book, The Man Who Tapped the Secrets of the Universe, about Walter Russell, and what an impact this story of Walter Russell has made on my life and continue. He could do anything. And then my teacher, Haridas Shastri, my teacher of the Vedas and the pranic method, it was like, you can do anything. It wasn't you work yourself up. It isn't if you get doing, you sacrifice. It isn't if you beat yourself up enough, you're going to do it. It isn't all that. You're not done. The next life, you're going to make it here. And then the next thing, you're going to make it there. And there. This is all distraction. Begin it. Do it now. It's like, you're going to communicate with me. Well, one of these days, do it now. The day you're going to come to a retreat or a workshop hour, do it now. There's something that you want to learn, you want to read. Pick up that book right now. Read one sentence. Oh, I'm going to write a book. Okay, grab a piece of paper right now. Write the first sentence. I don't know what it is. Write something, you say. And how do you bake a cake? You have to begin it. One of the songs I like was Barbra Streisand, Putting It Together Piece by Piece. When I was at a really low point of forgetting who I am and so falling in, because giving my power away, especially to, my man or boyfriend or husband or anybody else, always so gladly to just suffer because in my own mind or theirs, or all this insanity, craziness. And I decided I had to put myself back together again. And I had to rebuild myself and my consciousness bit by bit and step by step, and my brain and every part of me. And you know what? I've had it. This leg has been broken 2 times, bullets, wounds. You tell me, I'm still here. It's like, don't accept the verdict. Whatever job it may be, confront it, look at it, be with it, fiddle with it. And Elizabeth is here for this wonderful retreat workshop that we're working on, getting her out there in all her work that she's so fabulous as a, clinical psychologist, and they're mainly for the Hispanic people, and also her shamanic work, her nature work, her goddess work, her metaphysical work, her Vedic work, her studies and her realizations, and how so much of it started with what you think of me is none of my business. Get that book now, because do it now. It'll work for you. So anyway, the only way any of it's going to happen is when you do it, piece by piece, putting it together. That's it. However you want to be, start now and continue until you get there. But you know how you get there? Should I tell you the secret? You got to be there already. Love ya.